Bitcoin bottomed out? Hackers hacked? Ethereum futures soared. Who will have the last laugh next? Iran's cryptocurrency market loses 90 million US dollars. Novitex exchange, can you revive with full health? Countries are frantically hoarding cryptocurrencies. Is this financial innovation or a new round of capital war? From CBDC when it comes to stablecoins, is South Korea trying to protect itself, or is it forced to follow the United States? Robinhood is going crazy, tokenizing OpenAI and SpaceX. Can retail investors also invest?
On Tuesday, July 1st, BitcoinTV English channel, Where is the Coin Chain? I am Michael. Let's start with the 24-hour data headlines of the currency circle. Despite the ups and downs of the market in June, the US Bitcoin Spot ETF is making money every day. By June 30th, it had attracted another $102.28 million in a single day, and it has been non-stop for 15 consecutive days. For the entire month of June, it rushed in $4.6 billion and bought almost 43,000 bitcoins. Although the fighting in the Middle East stopped and the currency price once broke the $100,000 mark, they finally stabilized their position and climbed back from $1,460 to $107,100, a 2% increase. Looking at the entire second quarter of 2025, it was really a quarter of buying for institutions. BlackRockibit has hoarded 36,032 bitcoins in one quarter, with a market value of nearly $3.8 billion. Fidelity has added $355 million. Bitwise has quietly collected nearly $200 million in bitcoins. Even though Bitcoin briefly dropped below $100,000 in June, ETFs were not afraid at all, and they all seem to be shouting, "Please drop it, I will buy it if it drops." Now $100,000 has become the new safety belt in the market. Bitcoin, once a speculative kid, has now become the darling of Wall Street. To put it bluntly, don't laugh at it as a speculative toy anymore. It is the new favorite of the financial sponsor. In this wave of hacker incidents in June, the cryptocurrency circle once again staged the drama of people floating on the chain. How can they not be hacked? The latest report said that a total of 15 major cases broke out in June. Although the total loss was $111.6 million US dollars, which was 56% less than in May, hackers were not idle at all. The biggest highlight was the Iranian exchange Novitex, which was swallowed up by hackers for $82 million US dollars in one breath, accounting for more than 70% of the losses for the whole month. Other unlucky people include ResupplyFi was hacked for $9.6 million US dollars. AlexLab BTC lost $8.4 million US dollars. Forcebridge lost $3.8 million US dollars, and there was a buddy on Solana who was hacked for $3.2 million US dollars. These things tell us centralized exchanges, HKEX, have become new targets, especially those related to geopolitics. DeFi projects are still paper-mache, and there are holes when you poke them. Retail investors should not take it lightly either. The guy from Solana is a blood and tear textbook. As of on June 30th, data from the block directly broke a big news. The ratio of Ethereum and Bitcoin futures trading volume soared to 98%, and it was about to break the historical record. In October last year, it was only 42%. This wave of growth is shouting to everyone, "Brother is back again!" Why is it so fierce all of a sudden? There are three reasons. First, Arbitrum, Optimism, and other Layer 2s have completely solved the traffic jams on the Ethereum main network. Transactions are fast and save money. Who doesn't love it? Second, on-chain lending, stablecoins, and DEX have all come back to life, and ETH has become a hot commodity. Third, the Ethereum Foundation has also worked hard to develop ETH 2.0, data availability and pledge security, and confidence has been fully raised. Everyone understands that Bitcoin is now digital gold. Although it is stable, it has no fancy features. Investors who want more flexible targets immediately look at Ethereum. After all, ETH is not only a currency, but also supports a large number of applications, and the future space is great. In the short term, the popularity of ETH BTC futures will definitely explode. Although Solana, XRP, and other newcomers want to grab the rice bowl, to be honest, Ethereum's status in the arena is still the white moonlight of institutions. If there is another ETH spot ETF, it will be a booming market. Please like and follow us to sort out the latest developments in the currency circle, chain circle, and mining circle within 24 hours. Click the small bell to join the channel and become a member. You can receive the member wealth password from Monday to Friday. On June 10th, Israel launched an airstrike on Iran, triggering a short round of conflict. As a result, Hezbollah and the Houthi armed forces in Lebanon immediately came to the scene, and the excitement escalated. Oil prices soared, and the crypto market fell directly. Bitcoin instantly plunged to $96,000. Fortunately, the gold master of ETFs stabilized the market and poured money into it crazily, and Bitcoin immediately returned to $105,000. Just when everyone was relieved, Israel and Iran suddenly said a ceasefire. The market immediately recovered, and Bitcoin was firmly above $105,000. Unfortunately, the good times did not last long, and the ceasefire agreement was overturned.
If the intelligence reports conclude that Iran can enrich uranium to a level that concerns you, would you consider bombing the country again?
Without question, absolutely.
And have you had any conversations?
Turned out to be unbelievable.
At present, the situation in the Middle East is in chaos. Syria has become a wrestling field for various countries. Lebanon's Hezbollah and Houthi armed forces are constantly active. The United States and Britain frequently carry out airstrikes. Although Saudi Arabia and Iran have reconciled on the surface, they are still wrestling in secret. Although the geopolitical conflict has a short-term impact on the market, it has further highlighted the digital gold attribute of Bitcoin. It is worth noting that during the conflict, Iran's largest crypto exchange Nobitex was attacked by a pro-Israeli hacker, Predator Sparrow. $90 million of assets were transferred to a black hole address and destroyed, and 420,000 users' funds were frozen. The war on the chain is sweeping the real world.
Facing user panic and geopolitical blockade, Nobitex launched a phased recovery plan on June 24th, promising to pay full compensation with insurance funds and own capital, and implement private key sharding management, employee security training, and server migration to military data centers. Some withdrawals have been resumed, and about 1,700 users successfully withdrew on the first day. Despite the blow, Iran's dependence on digital assets is still deepening, with 19 million active crypto users nationwide, accounting for 22% of the total population.
12 days, 420,000 users, $90 million gone. This wave of Nobitex is really a hell-level copy in the cryptocurrency circle. Don't think that the restart is over. Their troubles have just begun. Chainalysis's data shows. From 2024 to 2025, this exchange has attracted $11 billion, accounting for most of the Iranian cryptocurrency circle. Iran also has its own calculations and always likes to use digital assets to circumvent sanctions and import equipment. As a result, Nobitex has become the #1 target on the must-kill list in the eyes of hackers. In a place like Iran, dealing in coins is like playing whack-a-mole. As soon as a loophole is patched, a new iron curtain falls immediately. Exchanges around the world are learning lessons with wide eyes. If you want to survive in the cryptocurrency circle, it does not depend on how thick the firewall is, but whether you can get up and continue playing in 3 seconds after you fall. Recently, the world has been excited, and the trend of countries also need to hoard Bitcoin has been set off. Everyone is staring at Bitcoin. In the United States, Texas has just signed a bill to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve, and the pace of following the trend is very fast. India is not to be outdone. Last week, it shouted at the top of its voice that it would conduct a Bitcoin reserve pilot, as if the treasury would be filled with Bitcoin tomorrow. Turkey has also been considering including Bitcoin in its foreign exchange reserves recently. After all, the lira has been depreciating. The Central African Republic in Africa has long declared Bitcoin to be legal tender, but progress has been a bit slow. In Europe, although Switzerland has not officially stated that it will hoard Bitcoin, the canton of Zug has long been able to pay taxes with Bitcoin, and some people have proposed to include Bitcoin in national assets. In Asia, Kazakhstan is also thinking about it and wants to get a piece of the pie.
According to the official Kazakhstan news agency, the National Bank of Kazakhstan plans to establish a national cryptocurrency reserve, which may come from seized crypto assets and state-owned mining income. Timur Sulmanov, the governor of the National Bank of Kazakhstan, said that placing the reserve under the management of the central bank will help supervision and risk control. The central bank itself does not intend to trade crypto assets directly, but intends to operate it through its alternative investment subsidiary, similar to the sovereign wealth fund model. Although the specific currency has not yet been announced, the market generally expects Bitcoin to be the main configuration and may also include Ethereum or stablecoins.
It called for the president's working group on crypto to elevate the potential creation and maintenance of the national digital asset stockpile potentially derived from the cryptocurrencies lawfully seized by the federal government through the enforcement efforts, among other things.
In recent years, Kazakhstan has been making constant moves in the crypto circle. As early as 2023, they enacted the Digital Assets Law to formally legalize mining. However, it is not that easy to mine. You have to get a license first. By the end of 2023, 84 mining companies and 5 mining pools have obtained official certification, and everyone is rushing to get on board. Starting this year, miners will have to sell 75% of the coins they mine to the exchange of the Astana International Financial Center, and the country will keep a close eye on where the money goes. Even electricity is strictly controlled. Mining companies can only keep 30% of the electricity for their own use, and the remaining 70% must be merged into the national power grid. In the future, companies that want to engage in stablecoins will also have to undergo regular reserve audits, and they must not be careless at all. Looking at this situation, Kazakhstan's wave of national crypto reserves is by no means a temporary idea, but a long-term plan. After all, looking at the world, cryptocurrency is no longer just a short-term craze, but a strategic asset that countries are rushing to deploy first. Whoever runs faster will have more advantages in the future financial landscape.
Is U.S. legislation an innovation or a trap? Can stablecoins escape the shadow of U.S. debt? Partnering with Arbitrum tokenized U.S. stocks, Robinhood wants to keep U.S. stocks open 24 hours a day.
Recently, stablecoins have become the top stars in the financial circle, especially the U.S. Senate has just passed the Genius Act. On June 18th, the bill passed with a vote of 68 to 30, and it will have to go to the House of Representatives for another pass. If it really becomes law, it will be the first time that the United States will set a national unified rule for stablecoins anchored to the US dollar. It's quite a big deal to think about it. However, there are also many rumors outside. Some people say that the United States has made a very smart calculation. Anyway, the national debt is piled up like a mountain, so it is better to force stablecoin companies to buy US debt and support the national debt market to ease the fiscal pressure. To put it bluntly, it just wants to sell US debt to global investors. Although this move seems smart, the outside world is also very nervous. After all, this matter affects the flow of global funds. Now everyone is watching. Is this move of the United States to stabilize the financial market, or is there any little trick behind it?
Much of the Senate leadership and many in the House are encouraging them to pass the Senate bill as is. I think we could have that also done by mid-July. And I think stable coins create an exciting new payment rail. And importantly, it will be a source of demand for the U.S. Treasury market.
With the U.S. Genius Act about to be implemented, South Korea, which was originally considered the most likely to launch CBDC first, has suddenly stepped on the brakes. Bank of Korea BOK recently, 7 participating banks were notified to suspend the second phase of the CBDC pilot program to be launched at the end of the year. And even the possibility of reducing the number of banks or shelving the plan was not ruled out. As soon as the news came out, the market trend changed sharply. KakaoPay fell 7% in a single day. Hecto Financial fell 5%. On the contrary, KB Finance and Shinhan, which are related to the concept of stablecoins, rose 0.8% and 1.6% respectively.
South Koreans really love the crypto world. Almost 1/3 of them are playing with coins, and they almost all use USDT, USDC, and other stablecoins when trading. The market share is as high as 99%, which is almost like a dollar club. Although South Korea's policy has taken a big turn recently, there are still a lot of problems. Does the stablecoin have enough reserves? Can it be redeemed at any time? Is the information transparent or not? These are all waiting for the South Korean government to worry about. As for whether its own CBDC will be directly called, the official has not yet let go, and in the future there may be a situation where CBDC and bank stablecoins run together. Other countries in the Asia-Pacific region are all staring at South Korea. If the Korean won stablecoin can really land, the regional financial circle may have to reshuffle. South Korea's shift from CBDC to stablecoins tells everyone vividly whether a business can make money is the key to the real policy direction. Whether it can find a balance between innovation and stability in the future will also test the ability of the government, banks, and regulatory agencies, and it will also serve as a mirror for Asian countries. What new tricks can traditional stock trading and blockchain bring? American financial technology companies Robinhood has recently made a big move. It directly announced on the X platform that it will hold a magic game next Monday, inviting Ethereum founder Vitalik Buterin, Robinhood Crypto's chief steward John Kobrat, and Off-Chain Labs strategist AJ Warner to have a fireside chat. Robinhood plans to put stock trading and blockchain together to create a dream linkage. As soon as this news came out, the market was happy. Arbitrum's ARB coin surged 17.1% in 24 hours, and Robinhood HOOD stock price also jumped 1.65% after the market. It has to be said that this wave of operations is explosive enough.
Robinhood is introducing traditional U.S. stock trading into blockchain, launching tokenized stock products based on Ethereum Layer 2 network Arbitrum in Europe, covering more than 200 U.S. stocks and ETFs, supporting 24/7 trading on weekdays. The company also plans to build its own dedicated Layer 2 blockchain based on Arbitrum technology for tokenized asset trading, custody, and cross-chain transfer, which is expected to be launched at the end of this year or early next year.
Robinhood just launched what may be its most ambitious crypto push yet, offering tokenized shares of OpenAI and SpaceX to users across Europe. Now, this is a landmark move because neither company is publicly listed and access to their equity has been limited to insiders and the ultra wealthy. So these tokens are part of a broader rollout.
Robinhood has been very active in the crypto industry this year. In May, it announced that it would set up an on-chain US stock exchange in Europe and also cooperated with Arbitrum, Solana, and other blockchain giants. In June, it directly spent $200 million to buy Bitstamp and completely entered the crypto exchange circle. This time, in cooperation with Arbitrum, Robinhood wants to use Layer 2 technology to provide low-fee and lightning-fast trading experience. The goal is to put all stock and cryptocurrency trading into one platform, and investors can directly serve from one stop. For Arbitrum, being able to catch the big ship of Robinhood is equivalent to holding tens of millions of new users at once, and its reputation and income will rise with it. However, Robinhood is not the only one making trouble. Coinbase has its own base chain, and Visa is also testing Ethereum payments. The big guys in traditional finance have all started to join in the fun and rush to the chain. In the future, it seems that the two circles of traditional finance and blockchain are destined to become increasingly close and even inseparable.
This morning, Elon Musk joked on X that he wanted to name his next child Doge Jr. Dogecoin surged 9% and then quickly fell back. The community joked, Musk indicator only lasts 3 hours. Today, a user on X posted a photo of Vitalik but Aaron and a woman in a European cafe, which triggered the hot topic of #V. V himself did not respond directly, but only forwarded privacy is seriously underestimated. Binance issued a notice on the X platform stating that in order to support the upgrade and hard fork of the Polygon network height 73,440,256, all POL token deposits and withdrawals will be suspended from July 1st. The community needs to adjust the operation plan in time. With the assistance of the United States, France, and Estonia, the Spanish police arrested 5 suspects involved in a cryptocurrency investment fraud, involving more than 5,000 investors and a total amount of $541 million. This is one of the largest cryptocurrency fraud cases in Spanish history. Trump family crypto project WLFI announced today that the stablecoin $1 it launched had a trading volume of 33.7 in 24 hours. US billion, surpassing USDC for the first time, and becoming the second largest stablecoin by market value.
Okay, the above is the main content of today's program. Our channel focuses on valuable news in the currency circle, chain circle, and mining circle. There are news information and in-depth special reports. If you think our channel is valuable, you are welcome to forward and follow it. You can also become our member and receive the member wealth code from Monday to Friday. Let us become rich together and add a zero to our assets in the bull market. See you tomorrow.